morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Vantage Point. I am one of your hosts, Jennifer Rogers. I have Crystal Dunn, Dr. Jessica Mosley, and the international evangelist missionary, Takoya Porter. And today we have an amazing topic. We've talked a couple weeks ago about being married and miserable. We've talked about relationships on this platform a lot, but today we're talking about, are you the one? Everybody's looking for that one person that is their person, right? Everybody's looking for somebody that is their person. Oh my God. Everybody's looking for somebody that is their person. But are you the one? Are you the person? What are you doing to make sure that you are somebody that adds to somebody's life, adds to somebody's happiness? What kind of effort and energy are you putting into that? There are so many platforms talking about relationships today and what it takes to make a marriage work, because truly, if you're in a relationship, it should lead somewhere, and marriage should be the end goal. But I want to read this quote from the late Dr. Miles Monroe, and it says, "Marriage does not need love. A successful marriage has little to do with love. Love is not a qualification for marriage. Love is a dangerous thing. Love can make you think, love can make you think you can make it. Every divorced person was first in love with the person they divorced. So you don't tell me that love keeps you together. Love does not guarantee success. Love brings happiness, but does not bring what it takes to make a marriage work. The only thing that makes marriage work is knowledge." It's interesting. You feel like you love someone, but the bit more you get to know them and you live with them, but the better knowledge you have is how you live with them. And we are such feeling culture that our insanity takes us to the altar, but commitments we know we can't keep. Marriage is not protected by love. Marriage is protected by knowledge. So, what do you guys think about that? I think that is the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. But what do you guys think about that? Because we've got so many people trying to get in relationships and they think love and attraction is what's going to make their relationship work. And he's saying it's knowledge.
My first response is, what? Knowledge did not make me want to say I do. No. I guess I need to ponder on that a little longer, because I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think that if knowledge is required, then you'd have to take somewhat of a test run before you get married. Like, God would have built in like a return period. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a 30-day return policy. You can live together, opt out.
Right.
So I do agree you need more than love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen people who love each other and they're horrible for each other.
Yeah.
Like, you love disaster.
Right.
But I think that to say that you don't have, it takes knowledge of living together. I mean, you do get to know a person when you live with them. You do not know them until you live with them. But that, to me, it's more about commitment and maturity and the right stage in life, being in your right mental position to take on that kind of commitment and maturity.
So I was talking to my son about this last night on the way home from church, and he has such, interesting takes on all this stuff. And I was talking to my husband about it this morning, and I'm like, for men, what does it take for you guys to be the one? And so I sent them that quote, and my husband, of course, said it was trash. He's like, what are you even talking about? He said, love makes you want to know, right? Mm-hmm. Love makes you want to get to know. He said, it's one thing to know the aspects of marriage and what you're supposed to do. Love makes you want to do it. You don't just want to know it, but you want to do it. Love is the action that makes you want to do it. So saying something doesn't need love doesn't even make any sense. But I said, ask them, for a man, what does it take to be the one? What do you guys really, because I know he said, first of all, there's no such thing as the one. He said, the one is the one you pick. That's the one you pick.
Saying that.
He said, all of them the one. The one is the one you pick. So there's no such thing as this one person, because you didn't pick all of them. You pick one. So that's the one. I'm thinking, great way to bust everybody's bubble.
I know, right?
Thinking about there's this one person on the earth for me, right? And he said, I wish he was here today because he's so funny. He said, for a man, he said, did God pick you? Are you his one? Did he pick you? Because if he didn't pick you, then why are you looking for anybody else to pick you?
I don't get that. What does he mean by that?
Meaning, if you're not the one, you don't have a relationship with God, he didn't even pick you, like you're not his child, you're not his son, then why are you looking for some woman to pick you and say yes? I said, oh, that's a little bit I think he was reaching on that one. But it's Wayne, he'd have to be here to explain it to you. I'm sure it would all make sense. But he said for men that their level of a relationship and their level of relationship with God and their ability to know, to allow God to love them helps them learn how to love other people. He said if you don't have agape love for your spouse, your relationship's not going to work. Because men, he said for men, one, it's the challenge. That's why these women that, are, got 5 baby daddies in, they're still looking for a husband. He said it's easy. Once they've conquered it, they just move on. For men, it's a challenge, it's a chase. They have to, be excited about that. But as far as from them being the one, maturity, I think you had mentioned that earlier, is one part. But, of course, the finances and all of that stuff. But he said sometimes that a woman can help a man, the right woman can help him grow into the man he's supposed to be. And he might not have all of the ducks lined up, but if you get the right motivation to make you want to do it, then that helps them become the one.
I understand what you're saying, but I think a lot of times we as women take on projects. And I think there has to be a difference between taking on a man-child project and growing together into this
man-child project.
Seriously, y'all know what I mean. You've seen it where you're like or maybe you've done it, where you're wishfully thinking them into like this perfect person. Like if they just change this,
Yeah.
But I think it's a fine line to say we help them. I do believe we do, but just knowing that some things you're not going to just change because you got girl power, however you want to define that.
That's true, because you're not the only one that has girl power. Just to cap. Dr. Jessica, you've been quiet. What do you think?
No comment.
Well, I'm still at one.
On it.
Why?
Do you believe there's only one person for you?
No, because if, say, for instance, your spouse was to pass away and you're young, you meet somebody else, then they become that one, Because I used to be like, there's only one person for me. He's my soulmate. Well, you thought Nicholas in 2nd grade was your soulmate. Everybody, I hope you don't ever watch this, because I would never think that. But I just, I think, for me being a person who really have read Dr. Miles Monroe's books, they took a piece of what he said, and I would really like to see what he fully said about it, because I think that I agree with Sequoia. I agree with Sequoia.
What?
I think that
It's a new season.
It's a new day.
It's a new season.
no, because it is about commitment. My godfather, I think him and my godmother have been married. I think they just made 51 years.
Wow.
And they've been through everything that you can think of in a marriage. Infidelity, child being born, whatever you can think of. But he said it was commitment. He didn't say anything about love. But I think that love made you do it. But he said, but a lot of people, they get married and they be like, well, I don't love you no more. He said, but it was the commitment. I stood before God, made some vows, and I'm gonna stay to my vows to God. He was like, because there was times that he didn't love her. You love him, then maybe you don't like him or whatever, but you stay because of what you promised that you would do, your vows. So I think I kind of see what Miles Monroe was saying, because I love Dr. Miles Monroe.
I do too.
So I will not say anything against the man. He has been a blessing to me. But one thing Sequoia said to me years ago, when we were, I don't know if she remembers, she'll correct me if I don't say it right. But I was like, how do you know if this is the person you're supposed to marry? And she said, remember you told me about the scripture God gave you? The blessing of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow to it. So for all of you who are in sorrow land, let me quit.
Right, Jessica, not us, right?
I thought about that and I think about that now. She was like, I said, what was the word? She was like, well, God gave me a scripture. And maybe I don't know if you were trying to be deep or not.
No, I wasn't trying to be deep. I was deathly afraid of being in a relationship at that time because of previous relationships. But when I got to know my husband, I fell hard and fast. I mean, we started technically dating in July. We were engaged in August, and we were married in November. But I've known him since I was 10.
Right.
In my defense, it wasn't like
Like you just met him.
no, it wasn't like I just met him. But I was scared. I wasn't ready. I didn't think I was ready to be in love or any of that, and so I remember telling God I was scared, and I told God I'd be an apostolic nun, and that doesn't even exist.
I don't even know what.
But I was just making up stuff. I was like, I don't need this. I don't need it.
There's all the ways to describe it.
And the Lord told me two things. One, He said it's okay to be happy, and then I cried. I really cried. And then He told me the blessings of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. And I'll say Elden Porter's been a blessing in my life. He has, but would I marry again? I'd probably be done.
That's what she said.
He's my one. He's my one.
Girl, you better clean it up.
He's the only one I want.
I think there's so much about, being the one and choosing the right one and knowing who the right one is. Kiss some frogs and then, somebody shows up. But I think it's important.
Don't do that.
I mean, not kiss them. Don't kiss any frogs.
Listen.
Frogs are terrible.
Let me tell you.
But if it wasn't for the fairy tale, none of us would do it. So I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. We're human, right? We put so much pressure on our spouse or who are our significant other to make us happy, and that's a lot of weight for somebody to carry. Yes, ma'am.
I don't want to lose my train of thought.
Go ahead. I don't want
because
you to
it'll go
lose
all
your
over the
okay.
place. But I was thinking about this. Like, when you're younger, you got a checklist. Like, they have to do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. Because somebody had told me one time, if you don't have a degree, I don't want to be with you, blah, 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 blah. Because I was just living my life. But my point is, don't ask me to be something that you're not. Okay? And I think the older you get, well, it's safe to say that I'm in my 40s now. But the things that I required back then are not the things that I require right now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because I don't know. I think I'm, the older you, can I just be, no, I'm not going to be transparent. Because I was going to say something about, you look for security at a certain time. Do you have pension benefits?
Are you healthy?
Are you healthy? Because we ain't moving like that, baby. The risk is high.
Insurance policy.
When we come back, we're going to finish talking about Are You the One? And dive a little bit more on Dr. Jessica's thought. Are you the one? You're watching The Vantage Point. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be right back.
Did you know that when you are quiet, your voice is missing to God's ears? I know some of us have prayed and we're wondering, how long should I pray about this? Why should I pray if God already knows? How will I know God is answering? And what do I do when I feel like God's not listening? But God is listening for your voice. It's too quiet in this world for the troubles we have. You have to raise your voice, and God wants to hear from you. It's Too Quiet, a book about prayer, is designed to answer your prayer questions and build your faith. Visit presstopray.com.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
back. Welcome back. So we're talking today about Are You the One? And when we went to break, Dr. Jessica was giving us her list of things that she's going to be looking for. We're actually taking applications.
Go to VantagePointTV.com.
Or you can reach me. Not
But is
There's
it
a
true
screening process.
that your list changes? Now, I remember when you got married, Eldon Porter had a matrix.
I still have it.
Yeah, he had a matrix of all of these things. Now, I don't know how many options
It's like
he had.
65 criteria, and it's in an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And then there's
Are y'all being serious?
No,
Yes.
no. And then there's a separate part for the weight he wanted, the height, the hair
Yeah.
length,
Yeah.
like. Well, my husband's an engineer by nature,
Yeah.
so he approached it like a math formula.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember it. I vividly remember it. We should post it on our website. So
If he'll
people
let me,
can,
I will.
get access to it. But does your requirements change as you age? So at 20-something, height,
She
weight.
just asked me if I met the requirements.
Did you meet
I think so.
Did you meet all the checklists?
How long have y'all been married?
Like, no. But I'm just like, no. I'm like, did you meet every single
Well,
box?
he was 20 at the time. That he was 23 at the
Jeez.
time that he created this matrix. So I don't know. Would
I
his
don't know
list
if I like
change if he
Eldon
made a
anymore.
matrix today? Who knows? We're going to get
that.
Eldon to make a matrix for the 21st century, for 2021.
I don't believe that about him. He don't seem like that type.
What?
You don't know.
That
Eldon.
needs a checklist.
He
Yeah.
just it wasn't like anal, but it was just funny. Like we found it funny.
Okay, it's funny. Okay.
Yeah, but no, it's very thorough. Don't get it twisted.
But was it serious?
Yeah. I think
he was
so.
definitely
I think
Yeah,
was
he put a
serious.
few girls on the Matrix.
Yeah, I think he had a couple. I know
So
at
it
least
was
he had
called a
two.
Matrix. Wait
It's
a
called the
minute.
matrimonial matrix.
Yeah.
You got to know.
I need one of those. I'm gonna get him to make me one.
But he's gonna have to update it, I
Yeah.
think, because I think requirements for relationships have changed over the years. But you had made a statement previously that your list change for a mate has changed. The older you get, your list has changed.
yeah.
What I think is funny is I heard a comedian talking about once you get over 40, you just start marking stuff off. He can't read. He need to be able to read. That's okay. I'll read for him.
Listen, for real.
I need him to be able to read and write. That's still a requirement.
Don't embarrass
but-
me. When you sit down at the table with my ghetto. Well, no, it depends on which friend set I'm in. With y'all, sit up straight. Make sure you put your napkin on your lap. Don't let me
Right.
No.
But does your list change? Does what you need from a relationship change as you get older, based on what you had when you were younger? Because I think we all had things that we wanted in a relationship when we were younger, but what are those things that we want now?
You know what I think Dr. Miles Monroe was asking? What's love got to do with it? What does it have to do with it? Because I'm going to tell you something. Love don't keep the lights on.
True.
It don't.
True.
It don't. I love you. Well, what the light bill is doing. But I love you. No. My actions are going to show you that I love you. You know, I think, I do believe that as you get older, your requirements change. Yes, I want a man that loves the Lord, that is submitted to his pastor, to the leadership of the house. But would I get mad at him if he didn't go to Bible class? No, you don't have to be there every time the doors swing open to try to. I think that, and I am being honest and just fully transparent, I think we have a list of silly things. I'm not married right now, but I hate for somebody to leave my toothpaste, the top off my toothpaste. Is it going to be the end of all things? How many arguments have you gotten over? You got into it with people over this silly, why you leave your shoes right here? Why you didn't pick a piece of paper? You know, because I used to be a neat freak until I had children. Now, your requirements change as you get older and more mature, you know, but it's some things that are basic. You know, I don't want you let me be quiet. I'm going to be quiet.
So there's this couple, because you guys know I'm a big TikTok fan, but there's this couple.
Why?
I don't know. It's just it's a million 1-minute reality shows, and I'm here for all of it.
If people don't send me, I don't know.
But there's this couple, and the lady, she's heavier, and she's just pretty normal looking, but her husband is drop dead gorgeous. I mean, he's just
Okay, what's your point?
He's really nice looking guy.
What's your point?
My point is, people were coming after her, talking about how you get him. She must be rich. You know, and he's defending her. This is my wife. I love her. But, you know, had, you know, women walking up to him talking about how nice he looked. And he's like, yeah, my wife thinks so, you know, and that kind of stuff. But I'm wondering, you know, again, for 2021, what does the list really look like? Because so many things, I personally still think you need to marry somebody not as cute as you. From a women's perspective.
Why is that?
He need to be a little bit ugly.
Insecurity.
He need to be a little bit ugly.
Be the ugly ones that you
Wait,
I'm like, Wayne, what are you saying
Girl,
right
I
now?
say this every time.
No,
and
but
he looks at
listen.
me like, no, you didn't just say
No,
that.
but listen.
Right,
But I
Jenny.
still
Right,
feel
Jenny.
like-
Jenny
it be
said
the ugly
it.
men that treat you the way. Girl, listen. I need somebody
didn't
nice
say
looking now.
he needs to be ugly. I mean, you need to be attracted to him because
You can be
You
attracted.
said a little bit
But he
ugly
need to be
though.
he need to be a little bit uglier than you. Is what I'm saying.
Why? That is so insecure
I
speaking.
have no idea.
That is so insecure.
I think I married my husband is cute. He's actually
I
cute.
think my husband is attractive too, but I don't think he looks better than me. Is all I'm saying. I just don't think he looks better than me. And so when I say and when I say
we
that to
edit that?
him, he'll look at me and like, you didn't do that. I said, but you're not cute. You're not as cute as I am. He's like, no, nobody's as cute as you are. But I'm just saying that I think you ought to marry somebody that is just not that as cute as you.
Wayne, you are in our prayers.
Wait a minute, Crystal ain't said nothing. You know
I
what
support Wayne. Hashtag I support Wayne.
I support Wayne.
OMG.
No, I don't
Crystal,
know
what
about
did Crystal
that.
got to say? I want to hear what Crystal got to say.
I still
Because you
think
notice
that's
what Crystal do. She don't never say nothing. No, sir. What you got to say about it, Crystal?
I think I say a lot. But on this topic, I'm still have a lot of wows. Let's go back to this list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay?
go back to it.
Because I don't put leaving the toothpaste cap off in the same category as you're not going to Bible class. You know? That isn't in the same category to me.
That's see, I knew that was gonna be taken out
yeah,
of context.
But also, if I go back to his quote, from a Christian point of view, our whole relationship between us and God is based off of love. And our marriages are supposed to resemble that love between Christ and the church. Love makes you go through things knowledge wouldn't. That's where I got stuck with that quote. You know, there's some things that you endure because I love you. Now, I'm not going to join the who's cuter and not cuter debate. My husband is very good looking. And so am I, so I'm not going to, you know.
My future husband
And when
bad too.
and I'm being funny, but you know, when you get mad at them, it's hard to stay mad at them when they're good looking.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, so I just
Yeah.
I can't go on that.
I'm saying you need to be attracted to him regardless. But he cannot be as cute as you are. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Jenny, you're
I'm
over marriage
sorry.
ministry?
Yes. And I tell people that all the time.
Bless the
He
people
shouldn't be
under
as
that
good looking
ministry.
as you are.
That is not of
I'm
the
totally
Lord.
just kidding. Sort of, kind of just kidding, but not really.
And she's over marriage.
But I think to go back to the original question that we came into this segment with, I think you change over time.
Oh, yeah.
And what I was looking for at 20 was not the same thing I was looking for in my late 30s. Because my responsibilities change. You know, you might have kids, you might have a career, you might have a house, you might have, you have other things now in the picture versus when you're at a younger age, and those things are valuable to you. So who you bring into that or who you share that with, you totally have a different, to me, you would have to have a different criteria because do I gotta give up my lifestyle or are you enhancing it, you know? I think as you get older, you change.
But when you look at the generations that we're in today, with women being more aggressive and more, I mean, because I've never seen so many aggressive women in all my life.
Or them asking men to marry them.
Yeah, they're proposing. They're proposing, but they're saying, I got my own job, I got my own car. Well, what do you need you for?
Well,
so
we
I
allowed to
think
say that?
there's a different nature. But I think one thing about knowing whether or not you're the one is you under stress. Because how you operate under stress is so important.
Yeah.
You know, turn the Wi-Fi off. See what he do. You know what I'm saying? Because let it be slow for stuff like that. Because
always slow.
Because honestly, you know, you don't really know this person. And God knows what we're trying to figure out. Going to him and understanding who it is I'm getting involved with before you actually get involved with it, it really does save you a lot of heartache. You know what I'm saying? Because God knows what you're trying to figure out. He knows. He knows the heart of that person, not just, what they're trying to show you, but he knows the heart. He knows your heart and what your heart needs, right? It's not about, whether or not they pick up after themselves. Are they clean? Are they this?
Yes,
Men are not clean. None of y'all know y'all not clean. I'm just saying, men are just not clean creatures. They are not. Most of, I know, Jerome, sorry, but they're just not, going to be neat. I always tell newlyweds, he ain't never gonna pick up nothing. He's just not. And she's gonna always move your stuff. It's gonna always happen because you won't pick it up. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Jenny said it.
But the things that are important, like you said, what's on your list that's important?
Health insurance, Social Security benefits. Where's my life insurance policy? Oh yeah, that's important.
gosh.
Those are things that are important.
We're not doing GoFundMe
I think
pages
the
over here.
emphasis on your list changed. Like, I can't say my whole list just got thrown out the window.
Right.
But I think when we were dating, I was impressed. He gave me this leather jacket, and oh my gosh. Okay, now my husband's literally the worst gift giver ever. He is so bad. For my 30th birthday, he got me six forks for $1 from Walmart. I mean, the man is he knows he's bad at it. But you know what I value? He's always paid the bills, always kept the job,
Come on now.
and takes great care of his family.
Did you hear that?
And then you learn how to buy your own gifts and put their name on.
I do. I put my own gifts under the Christmas tree because the forks were just the beginning. He gave me toilet seats for Christmas from Walmart and wrapped them.
Household needs are not gifts.
Did you hear that? She said benefits.
Didn't he give you a vacuum cleaner?
No, he gave me a laundry basket.
Did you hear what she said? Security.
Taking care of the house is taking care of you, I think is his concept.
It all matters to
But he is the one.
Because he pays the bills. He makes sure they have life
a good
insurance.
man. He just I buy my own
Health
gifts.
insurance. Look at this. See, you heard it from the woman of God. Benefits.
That's important.
You didn't hear her say, well, because, well, no. It's
And he's cute too. So
He's
that
gorgeous.
helps. I mean, when they give you dumb gifts,
And
at
he
least they're
pays the
cute.
bills.
My husband, he was so excited. He gave me, for Mother's Day, a statue of Jesus washing Peter's feet. And he was so excited about it. And the scripture was in Spanish.
Only you.
He was so excited about that
you.
gift. But he's still the one, y'all, with his fine self. He's still the one.
You don't know when I get a man, I'm going to be skipping and everything.
Oh, Lord.
You don't know when I
We're
get a
going
man.
to continue this conversation on Facebook. What's on your list? We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning into The Vantage Point. Have a great week.